Imagine this. 2,000 years ago, you sail into the busiest harbor on Earth, Alexandria, Egypt. In your bag, one book, your favorite book. Suddenly, a royal officer stops you. He's not looking for gold. He's not looking for weapons. He wants your book. In this city, books get confiscated at the border, by law. And where they take it, that's the Library of Alexandria. The greatest collection of knowledge the ancient world ever built. Everyone thinks they know how it ended. A huge fire, one terrible night. But that's not what happened. And the real story is so much weirder. How did a brand new city in Egypt end up with all the world's knowledge? It starts with Alexander the Great. He founds the city, puts his name on it, classic Alexander, then dies without ever seeing it finished. His general Ptolemy takes over Egypt, and Ptolemy has a wild idea. Other kings collected gold, armies, statues of themselves. Ptolemy wanted to collect books, not some books, every single book on Earth, and his family nearly did it. Estimates say the library held hundreds of thousands of scrolls. Some say up to 700,000. In a world where every copy was written by hand, letter by letter. One building holding the knowledge of the entire planet. That wasn't a library. That was the ancient world's internet. Scholars traveled for months across dangerous seas just to read here. Because this was the only place on Earth where all of it, mathematics, medicine, poetry, astronomy, lived under one roof. But collecting every book ever written raises one tiny question. How do you actually get them? Oh, you're gonna love this. Remember you, the merchant? Here's what happened to your book. Every ship docking in Alexandria got searched. Any books on board? Confiscated, straight to the library. Now, they weren't complete monsters. The scribes made a copy of your book, and then they gave you the copy. The original stayed in Alexandria forever. But wait, it gets better. King Ptolemy III pulled off maybe the boldest book heist ever. He asked Athens to lend him the original master copies of their 3 greatest playwrights, just to copy them. He even left an enormous silver deposit. He made the copies, sent the copies back to Athens, and kept the originals. The deposit? Keep it. He paid a fortune just to own the real thing. Knowledge in Alexandria wasn't a hobby. It was a superpower. And the obsession paid off. Within a single generation, Alexandria went from a construction site to the intellectual capital of the entire Mediterranean world. Athens had the reputation. Alexandria had the books. Step inside, and this wasn't just shelves. It was the Mausoleum, the Temple of the Muses. Sound familiar? It's where the word museum comes from. Lecture halls, gardens, dormitories. The best minds on the planet were invited to live here for free. Free room, free food, a salary. Your only job? Think, discover. The world's first research university 2,300 years ago. And the people walking these halls? Legends. Euclid, the father of geometry. His textbook was used for over 2,000 years. Eratosthenes calculated the size of the entire planet using shadows and a stick, and got astonishingly close. Aristarchus figured the Earth goes around the sun, 1,800 years before Copernicus. Nobody believed him. Awkward. And it wasn't just math. Herodotus dissected the human body and discovered that the brain, not the heart, controls our thoughts. Copernicus built the world's first library catalog, 120 scrolls just listing what the library owned. And the first librarian, Zenodotus, invented something we still use every single day, alphabetical order. Yes, someone had to invent that. One building, all of that, at the same time. So how do you lose something like this? Everyone says, fire. Time to bust the biggest myth in ancient history. 48 BCE, Julius Caesar is trapped in Alexandria. Enemy fleet closing in, so he sets their ships on fire. It works, a little too well. The fire jumps to the shore, warehouses burn, and inside them, scrolls, probably thousands. And that is the fire everyone talks about, the end of the library, right? Wrong. Here's what the legend skips. The library kept operating after Caesar left, for centuries. The geographer Strabo worked there 20 years after the fire and described it as fully operational. Real records mention it, generation after generation. So who did destroy it? History has a whole lineup of suspects. Emperor Aurelian, whose war wrecked the palace district. Diocletian, decades later. A mob in 391 that tore down its daughter branch, the Serapeum. And an old tale about Arab conquerors burning it all in 641, a story that first appears 600 years after the fact. Historians tossed that one out centuries ago. So which suspect actually did it? Honestly, none of them. And the real answer is the part nobody likes to hear. The Library of Alexandria didn't burn down. It faded away. Around 145 BCE, a later king kicked the foreign scholars out of the city. The brains scattered. Then the money dried up. Under the Romans, funding came and went. And here's the brutal detail. Papyrus rots. A scroll only survives if someone keeps recopying it by hand every few decades. No funding, no scribes. No scribes, no copies. Every book with one copy left was on a countdown timer. Think about what that means. No dramatic villain, no single night of flames, just decades of slow, quiet indifference. Shelf by shelf, scroll by scroll, the greatest collection in human history simply expired. The poet Sappho wrote 10,000 lines of poetry. Today we have about 650. Nobody burned the rest. We just stopped copying. The greatest library in history didn't go out with a bang. It went out with a shrug. Today, a massive modern library stands in Alexandria, the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a second chance, 2,000 years later. But the original left us a warning that still matters. Knowledge doesn't vanish in a fire. It vanishes when people stop taking care of it. When the funding stops. When the copying stops. When people simply look away. So, if you could rescue just one book from the Library of Alexandria, what would it be? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if you learned something new today, like the video, subscribe for more stories history almost forgot. And share this with a friend who still blames Caesar. See you in the next one.